The Secret History of South Indian Cuisine. Episode 1. The Alchemy of the Ancient South. Sound. Gentle rhythmic grinding sounds, soft mortar and pestle, perhaps a crackle of low fire. Hey there, welcome back to the perfect volume. Grab a mug, because today we're going to sit down and talk about something truly fascinating, the real deep history of South Indian food. Forget what you think you know, because the truth is, this cuisine is basically a 4,000-year-old science experiment that went wonderfully right. We're going back to the source, to the fundamental logic of the kitchen. The absolute biggest secret here isn't a spice, it's fermentation. This is the core logic. Seriously, when you eat an idli or a dosa, you're actually enjoying a genius piece of ancient biotech. The old Dravidian communities didn't just stumble upon this, they mastered it. They figured out that by soaking rice and lentils and letting that batter get all bubbly overnight, they were essentially doing alchemy. They were transforming humble ingredients into something far greater. The fermentation process breaks down complex compounds, making the protein complete, easily digestible, and naturally probiotic. This wasn't just about flavor, it was about survival and maximizing nutrition. They were health gurus and food scientists before the term even existed. Now, this fermentation principle extends beyond just the batter. Think about buttermilk and curd, widely used in every state. They are essential cooling agents, probiotics, and they act as natural meat tenderizers. This dedication to fermented dairy shows a deep, continuous commitment to gut health and preservation that defines the ancient kitchen. And here's something cool that often gets overlooked. South India wasn't always just about rice. For centuries, the dry central part of the land, the Deccan Plateau, was defined by tough little grains called millets. Things like ragi and jowar, sorghum. Rice required massive irrigation projects, but millets thrived on minimal rain. This just shows how clever they were, adapting their diet perfectly to the land, eating what was locally sustainable, even during a drought. Today, as we talk about sustainable eating, we are essentially returning to the pre-rice wisdom of this ancient cuisine. So while we often jump straight to fire and heat, the original flavor profile was much more subtle and locally grown. The intense aromas that fill a traditional kitchen don't rely on complex imported powders. They come from the native curry leaf, the popping mustard seed, and that little pinch of pungent hing or asafoetida. This trio, known as the tadka or tempering, is the quiet, essential base note. It's a flavor language spoken long before any outsider arrived. Take, for instance, the use of tamarind and kokum as souring agents. These are local indigenous fruits that defined tanginess before any imported citrus. Finally, we have to recognize the deep spiritual connection. Much of this early cooking was influenced by the Ayurvedic principle of balance and the necessity of temple food being strictly pure or sattvic. This commitment to simple, clean, locally sourced food wasn't a choice, it was a deeply held philosophical belief. It is this scientific and philosophical commitment that has allowed the cuisine to remain fundamentally intact for millennia. It's a story of profound local intelligence. But as we'll see next time, the rest of the world couldn't keep its hands off these flavors, and that changed everything forever. Episode 2. The Fire Starter, the Merchants and the Mughals. Extended. Welcome back. Last time, we explored the unshakable scientific foundations of South Indian food. Now, let's talk about history's drama and the incredible influences that gave this cuisine its modern spice and complexity. The story of South India quickly became the story of global trade. For centuries, the Malabar coast was, without exaggeration, the most sought-after piece of real estate on the planet. Why? Black pepper. Everyone, Romans, Arabs, Chinese, sailed here, enduring treacherous journeys, just for this spice. They paid fortunes for it. This demand created immense wealth, but it also made the region a continuous point of cultural collision. But here is where things get truly disruptive. The biggest shift wasn't from trade, it was from two huge cultural waves. First, in the 16th century, the Portuguese arrived, and they brought a simple plant from the New World that fundamentally redefined the taste of Indian food, the chili pepper. Before the chili, the intense heat came from native pepper, ginger, and mustard. After the chili, the kitchen had an instant aggressive flavor upgrade. Suddenly, the deep reds and the searing heat that we associate with the region were possible. The Portuguese also gifted us the tomato, the potato, and the cashew. Now, while the cashew is popular today for thickening gravies, the South Indian kitchen is incredibly adaptable. Chefs can and do use melon seeds, poppy seeds, or even rich coconut milk to achieve the same creaminess and body. Proving its adaptability is its greatest strength. The second huge wave of influence came from the north, the Mughal dynasties and their successor kingdoms like the Nizams of Hyderabad. Their courtly cuisine, rich with Persian and Central Asian influences, mixed seamlessly with local ingredients. This gave us the concept of slow cooking, layers of flavor, and the use of expensive ingredients like saffron and dry fruits. That beautiful blending is why we get the complexity and majesty of a biryani. It's pure cultural fusion between royal grandeur and Deccan earthiness. And speaking of clever adaptation, let's revisit the sambar. This story perfectly encapsulates the region's genius for localization. The widely accepted theory is that sambar is not an ancient dish. It was adapted from a lentil soup called amti, made by the Maratha ruler of Thanjavur. When they couldn't find the original saring agent, kokum, they simply substituted local tamarind. The resulting dish, now known as sambar, became the indispensable cornerstone of Tamil cuisine. It shows that even the most sacred staples are products of historical flexibility. These two waves, the chili from the sea and the biryani from the north, gave the South Indian cuisine the incredible dimension and variety we enjoy today. Next up, we're taking a road trip across the 4 geographical kingdoms to see how each of them internalized these changes. Episode 3. The secret is in the geography. Welcome back. Last time, we established that foreign influences shaped the cuisine's overall spice and richness. But now, we have to get granular. The most important secret is that South India is not one place. It's 4 distinct culinary philosophies, each defined by its climate and geography. We're going on a culinary road trip, defining the 4 kingdoms of flavor. We start on the coast in Kerala, the Coconut Kingdom. Kerala's cuisine is an expression of its abundant water and lush greenery. The coconut isn't just an ingredient, it's the medium. Everything is cooked in coconut oil, and coconut milk provides the creaminess. This approach gives the food a distinct, gentle aroma, favoring items like tapioca and seafood. Their unique fermented items like the bubbly, lacy appam, served with a mild vegetable or meat stew, ishtu, showcase a preference for subtlety over searing heat. They use spices, yes, but they balance them perfectly with the sweetness of the coconut. Now, journey east to Tamil Nadu. The landscape here transitions to the dry plains, which demands a different flavor profile. The philosophy shifts to the intense tang of tamarind and the serious art of spice grinding.
Here, the focus is on creating incredibly complex, freshly ground spice mixes, masalas. This tradition gave us the famously intense and aromatic chettinad style, known for its use of dried red chilies, star anise, and stoneflower. It's pungent, it's earthy, and it's deeply rooted in the concept of slow-cooked spice infusion. Next, we head north into the dynamic agricultural heartland of Andhra and Telangana. This is the undisputed capital of fire. The cuisine here is defined by an uncompromising love for the chili pepper, used with an intensity found nowhere else. They pair this heat with strong, sour flavors, often from local greens like gongura, sorrel leaves. This results in bold, highly acidic, and assertive food. Their famous pachatis or pickles and spicy curries are not just side dishes, they are central to the meal, a direct expression of the region's bold culture. Finally, we arrive in Karnataka. This kitchen is heavily influenced by the Udupi temple tradition, a strictly sattvic food philosophy. This tradition prohibits onion and garlic, forcing chefs to find incredible depth using only vegetables, pulses, and spices. To achieve balance, Karnataka often uses jaggery, unrefined sugar, to give dishes like bisibele bath and their saru or rasam a distinct, pleasing sweetness. It's a cuisine of sophisticated balance where the flavors are harmonized rather than dominated. 4 regions, 4 philosophies, all linked by rice and a shared history of innovation. But what is the philosophical glue that holds these 4 diverse worlds together? We'll uncover that final crucial secret next.
Episode 4: The Art of Balance, Ayurveda and the Legacy. We've charted the history, analyzed the ingredients, and toured the regions. Now for our final, most important question. What is the ultimate purpose of this cuisine? The answer lies in philosophy. The true, enduring secret of South Indian cuisine is that it views food as a medicine. This is the core principle that ties the 4 diverse regions together. Every traditional, complete South Indian meal is a calculated, devotional exercise in balancing the 6 Ayurvedic tastes, or Shad Rasa. This isn't random. It's a doctor's prescription from ancient texts. The 6 tastes, sweet, sour, salty, pungent, bitter, and astringent, must all be present for the body to achieve balance. The rasam provides the sharp, pungent, and sour notes. The vegetables contribute the bitter, and the rice and desserts bring the sweet. This commitment to holistic balance guides portion size, preparation method, and even when certain foods should be eaten. This deep philosophy is why the food is presented the way it is. The meal is meticulously laid out on a banana leaf, a natural, symbolic, and hygienic serving platter. The placement of the dishes ensures the diner progresses through the tastes in the correct order, maximizing digestion and pleasure. This commitment to ritual elevates the simple act of eating into a meditative practice. And this wisdom goes even deeper, categorizing ingredients based on their effect on the body. Sattvic, or pure and calming, rajasic, or stimulating, or tamasic, or dulling. This categorization explains why temple food strictly excludes onion and garlic, considered rajasic or tamasic, and focuses on seasonal vegetables and calming pulses. This commitment to purity is what has maintained the cuisine's integrity against thousands of years of outside influence. In the end, the history of South Indian cuisine isn't just about delicious recipes. It's about a continuous, living system that respects the earth, respects the body, and respects tradition. It's a testament to ancient science,
brilliant adaptation, and a cultural commitment to eating not just for flavor, but for well-being. It's an ultimate expression of history, philosophy, and taste. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey. This has been The Perfect Volume. We will see you soon, and please consider subscribing to the channel.